Hello everybody, thank you for choosing Wirecast 14. We have some exciting new features for you that we want to show you today that have to do with the chroma key. What is chroma key? Chroma keying is the process of removing a specific color element from a video so that it can be replaced or keyed with a different element. Generally, you're going to use green or blue screens as a background and replace that with different backgrounds. Today we want to go over Chroma key, Luma key, and Color key. These are three brand new options in Wirecast 14. And with that, I want to take you through each of those features to show you how you can better your production. Let's start with Chroma key. As you can see here in preview, I have a motion video of a bird. First, we're going to double click the icon of the bird video. That opens up our shot manager. We can go into our shot layers, we can go into our shot properties, but what we really want to go into is our chroma key properties. Now, if you have been a previous Wirecast user, you're going to notice that there's a lot of new sliders. And I'd like to go through some of those and explain to you what those sliders do. Most of the time, in previous versions of Wirecast, you could just click use chroma key, and as you can see, it chroma keys out the bird in this case. But if you want to fine tune that, you can go through different options like key threshold, black clip, white clip, spill suppression, solidify, and edge coloring. These are features that allow you to dial in your chroma key that much better. Now, let's start with the key threshold here. The key threshold lets you adjust how far away from the chroma color, whether it be green or blue, that you want to enable the key. This basically makes it so that you can make the background transparent. The black clip allows you to define what is considered black. Your view of black might be different than mine, so this is a great way that you can adjust it to see what you consider as black. The same thing is true with the white clip. This allows the user to define what white is. If white is 255, this is how far away from white that you're going to go to get that chroma. So we'll leave it at 225 because that seems to be the best right now. Spill suppression. What is spill suppression? This helps take away the green reflection that is located around the edge of the subject. In this case, it's the bird. Anything that's near green, we can push it away from green. This will take everything that's green and take it away. Solidify is the next feature. This setting says if all the pixels around me seem to be part of the key, then bump up my probability of being part of the key. So it solidifies the object. This is most notable when you are zoomed in on an object. Let's do that real quick. Let's zoom in on our bird. So as you can see right here on the side of the bird's feathers, if we adjust the solidify, you can see it's changing to give you more that solid look. If I come all the way to the left, it blurs it out. We want to solidify that. So I want to come up right there, looks about good. Now I'm going to come back and jog this back to the normal size. Or I could just hit the aspect ratio button. And now the bird looks more pronounced. And there's finally one last major feature on this to help get your image perfect, and that is the edge coloring. Edge coloring is more closely related to spill suppression. It pulls colors from inside of the keyed object to get rid of the halo. So you're going to use solidify and edge coloring closely to get the best chroma key you possibly can. Let's zoom in again on the bird and let's go back to our edge coloring. As you can see, we've got it pretty good. We're not getting much change when we go from one side to the other. So I would say let's leave it alone. It looks really good. Another way that we can check this and see how much spill is actually being on there is with the display properties. Right now it's set to the result. And what that means is the result of the chroma key. But let's say we want to go to alpha white. That basically turns the object white. So we can go back and further play with solidify. As you can see there, you can see real changes to help you dial it in better. Or your edge keying. Now mind you, edge keying is going to be so subtle that it's going to blend your object so you don't get that halo effect. If you're using a lighter background, you may want to go to alpha black. We can't do that right now because our background is black. So let's go back to the result. Let's zoom back out with our bird. And there you have it. Very cool. You've got a picture perfect bird. Okay, now I've added an image to the background here. And as you can see, our bird is ready to fly. It actually looks like he's looking into one of those cameras that overlook the city. Looks really good, doesn't it? The next feature we want to talk about is the Luma key. Now, what is the Luma key? This is a feature that sets up a key based on the intensity value, but ignoring the color values. This is useful if you have a logo with a white or black background that you want to remove. So let's clear the layer and let's look at our logo here for Luma key. Here you can see that we have the Telestream logo. A lot of times you'll find your logos or you'll find different images on the internet that you want to use in a production, or maybe your graphics department has sent to you. And you really don't have time to get them to change it because they're on a tight schedule and you're on a tight schedule. That's not a problem anymore with Wirecast. If you double click your item, it opens up and we want to go back to the chroma key settings. Now if you notice in here, we have three main drop downs: chroma key, Luma key, and color key. We're going to select Luma key. We can now remove that white background while keeping the text intact. So I'm going to click Use Luma key. And look at that. It removes the background just perfect. And just like the chroma key, you have your black clip settings for finding black, white clip settings for defining white, and your edge coloring. You also have your display options such as result, white, or even black. So with the result, we could do the same thing. We're going to come over here and we're going to zoom in and see how that looks. You can see I've already blurred the edges based on selecting the Luma key feature, but if you're not happy with it, as you can see I pulled back, it's got a white haze around it. We don't want to see that, so we want to kind of edge that coloring, just creep it in just so it starts coloring it, and let it at that. Now let's go back and let's move our logo up to the top so it looks really sharp when we push it live. There you have it, folks. Luma key, great new feature added to Wirecast 14. The final feature that I want to show you in this triangle of keying is the color key. What is color key? Color key is useful for images or logos that have non-black or non-white backgrounds, such as this logo that I'm using here. Let's say, again, we need to make that background transparent because we just want to see the blue dot and the red dot. How do we do that? Well, in Wirecast 14, it's simple. Double click your color key shot, come over to your chroma key options, and select color key inside of the drop down. Again, you have your color picker that you can choose if you so want to, or you can just put the check mark under use and it removes your color based on that background. You can pick it, like I said, using the color matrix SKU numbers, or you can use the eyedropper. And again, it has the alpha clip and the edge coloring. So what we want to do is zoom in on it. You can maneuver this around, zoom in a little further, and we can check out that edge coloring. As you can see, by me zooming in, and I'm going to zoom in a little further so you all can see it. By me zooming in, you can see this light blue halo going around it from the background. Using the edge coloring, we want to just come in just till we don't see that no more. We don't want to overdo it. We want to bring it in. So what is alpha clip? Similar to the key threshold, the alpha clip lets you set a range for how far away your key is from the selected key color. So there you have it. 3 great new features added to Wirecast 14. We hope you download and enjoy Wirecast.